The time has finally
The
come.
time has come. We've been talking about this for a while. Let me tell you, let me start by saying I have never been jealous of a man before. Full stop. I have never been jealous of a man before. I feel like I am man enough for everyone. But when you told me that you were reading Acotar, A Court of Thorns and Roses for the first time, and listen, I read. I'm a reader. But it's the experience, it's the zeitgeist, and it's the cultural echelon that is joining book talk and book conversation and truly the experience of Acotar and Throne of Glass and Crescent City. And these books are not the James Patterson of all the books where he's got 57 books coming out in 1 year. But it is a movement and it is a moment, and I'm so jealous that you are just starting this journey. So welcome. This is our first book talk. We're going to figure out an actual title for this segment, but we are coming together to talk books, to talk literature, and honestly to talk about the experience as you, a man, a Black man in this space, a father of a daughter, as someone who has experienced love, someone going through all the emotions of life,
all of the
reading
emotions
this
of
book
life
for the first time, and to have a fresh perspective on this piece of literature that you are reading for the first time. So talk me through it. Why Acotar?
All right, so anybody who's tuned into main podcast, Media MCs, we did talk about briefly my time jumping on Fourth Wing. I kind of got on it from people talking a little bit about the aspects, and I felt very anime vibes, like Attack on Titan, Game of Thrones. I was like, wait a minute. Let me give it a try. And so after diving really heavily into the Empyrean series,
everybody, say it, man, you're a smut slut. Come on.
I did.
That lightning sex. Like,
I had to. I was like, oh my God, the pen game is crazy. And so I knew that the series that was next, that a lot of people talk about as like a good little gateway, is Acotar. And
that is so funny because it's the opposite. It is because Court of Thorns and Roses and Sarah J. Maas came before Rebecca Yarros's Fourth Wing.
Right. But people get into it from Fourth Wing. People respond to Fourth Wing, I feel like, a little better, and then they backtrack to Acotar.
Part of that, I feel like, is because they're hearing, especially in our space, is because the show is coming out, because they're making an adaptation of the show, and so people want to grab onto what the show was based off of, and so they're getting into the literature, they're getting into the reading material.
I tell you what, listening to the graphic audios, I'd be like, yes, give me a show of this too.
That is Acotar, my buddy. That's Gabriel. That's doing. For that.
We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about it because he's also in the Acotar graphic audio.
Yeah, he is.
I was like, all right, I'm gonna need Jasmine to maybe introduce me to Gabriel. I need to shake that man's hand.
The biggest. Sweetheart. He is pure bliss, and just like, there are some people that you meet that just radiate joy and happiness, and he's just this, like, you just want to like pinch his cheeks. He's just so sweet.
You have a very pinch your cheek attitude about a lot of people. You're so auntie.
But like when you find people that just are so delightful, and that is Gabriel. And honestly, everyone that Gabriel has introduced me within his circles and within like Kayla, I believe the name of the voice actress. I met her twice too. But she's the voice of Violet and a few other people in and amongst the audiobook spectrum. But man, that graphic audio team, they're just the bee's knees. I just love them. I cannot say nothing. But I want to know about your experience and getting into the thick of it. So
yeah. So starting with Acotar, it's interesting because no, we started to bring it up. Apparently it was a DNF for a lot of people at first. Do not finish. And I was locked from jump because we're starting like in the middle of everything. And I mean, within just the first couple of chapters, we're getting explained about fairies, which at first, hearing the audio, I'm not realizing fairies is like a whole zeitgeist, a whole spectrum. And when we're at the moment, again, graphic audio, it feels like I'm visualizing show in my head.
Well, here's the thing. You are in such a privileged position.
Oh, 100%.
Because first of all, you got Gabriel in your ear. That's number one. You got the whole team, and I guess he was more Fourth Wing, but you've got a whole team of people in your ear. We didn't have that. I'm from the
You had
OG.
to read the pages.
I had to read.
She said I had to use my eyeballs. I'm on the drive.
Literally, like I'm listening to just the straight off of Audible, you know, if I have an audiobook. The graphic audio is a privilege and a blessing that you get to have a full cast of people listening or like speaking to you. But the funny thing is it's interesting you're starting with Acotar when that wasn't even Sarah J. Maas's first book. Her first book was Throne of Glass. She wrote that book when she started writing that book when she was 16 and like put it in to get reviews. Oh my God, yeah. So she started writing, and I think at that point it was like Queen of Glass, not Throne of Glass. But she put that book in when she was 16. She started writing it, and she was in college at this time. She was working at this time. So it took her 10 years to get this book developed. And then finally she gets it published. Didn't think it was going to really do anything. Blew up. But you're starting with the next series of her book, which is A Court of Thorns and Roses. But that's the one that got the girlies going. That's the one that's just like, because it's based off of, and I don't know that you've really gotten that yet. It's not a spoiler, but it is based off of Beauty and the Beast.
I was gonna say, I was like, I'm getting very Beauty and the Beast with where I'm at now. So yeah, they lock us with the, is it a wolf? Is it a fairy in that beginning and whatnot? And, you know, she leaves it that it was a wolf. And now, you know, I've been introduced to Tamlin, Gabriel. I heard him. I was like, Zayden. And we've been introduced to, you know, his right hand, Lucian, and we're learning about the realm of Prithian. And this is where I see where people say it slowed down, because it locked me in those first few chapters of like, we've gone from her killing a wolf, being taken.
Little girl who is the youngest. She's the youngest child. She's not.
That's the other thing. Why is she the youngest taking care of the family? I'm like, girl,
the way that we all talk about that, because it's the Elaine of it all that really bothers people. That's the middle child acting like the youngest, and that bothers me. And the fact that Nesta, the oldest child, is like, yeah, go be a wild thing, but hey, go get me some money for some boots.
But go get me some money so I can get a husband. I'm like, girl,
some boots. And Elaine just like, oh no, like I just want to get married. Like, don't bother me. I'm just so, the way those girls were so disrespectful. And like, and that's, I mean, I get it, because there's a lot about the mother that we never really understand. We know that the mother's not in the picture. We know that Nesta feels the loss of their mother the most because she knows her. Her mom taught her how to dance. I don't know if you're there yet, but like her mom had, I
think she talked about that memory. Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah. Her mom taught, you know, Nesta was there. And so was Elaine. Elaine has a lot of distant memories of the mother, but when her mom was around, she was, you know, the baby before Farrah came around. But now Farrah knows nothing but being poor. She knows nothing other than
not a damn thing.
Not a damn thing. But you got daddy in the corner with his gimp leg, just, you know.
Oh my God, the dad's leg being smashed in by the debtors. I said, oh my God.
And the only one that took care of him was Farrah. Farrah's the Nesta just like, fuck that guy. We don't care about him. Like, you did this. But like, that's still your daddy. I mean, I get it. Because I got some resentments towards my parents too, or at least my mom, and I've like cut her off. We get that. I understand like you go too far, but like he was in debt because he was trying. He was in debt because his ships got destroyed. Like that was not his fault. It was just the circumstances of life. But the fact that Nesta had her mother's like privileged mentality. She grew up believing I deserve more than this. She won't take anything else. She won't take anything else.
Think about that.
You know? And so now you've got your young baby having to teach herself how to fight and how to hunt. So I got a question for you. Do you think Farrah knew that it was a fairy and just said, fuck it, I need the money?
So that is the question that I started to ask myself right now. Because we're getting into more of the world building. I started to get the Beauty and the Beast aspect of it with him like, this is your home, like everything's fine. And she's like, I don't want you, but like also you're so kind. So I keep trying to ask myself, when she apologizes about, and the fairy, for those who, if you're watching this and you know you want to be introduced to the series, to give you a little bit of summary.
Alert, by the way.
A little bit. No, you're totally fine. And so everyone, we're reading Acotar for the first time. I'm showing my experience, but hopefully the summary will get you into it if you're not, especially as a man. For real, it's actually the smut is not I make jokes about the smut, but honestly, the smut be having you locked. It's literally like watching the show, experiencing your favorite anime, your favorite series, your favorite movie. But she started apologizing about what happened to Andres, who was the fairy who was disguised as a wolf. The reason was that Tamlin was able to do that for people. And I say multiple times, why doesn't she tell them that in his wolf form, he attacked a doe that she needed to feed her family? Like, that she wasn't sure if he was a fairy or not. And I do understand that because she used the ash arrow and that's the evidence that they had, they're like, clearly you thought something. But it was
that's
the
what
thing
I'm
of
saying, though. Like, why use the ash arrow? Why? You knew, on some level, you knew it was a fairy.
Yeah, her justification was that the other arrow wouldn't pierce. The ash arrow was bigger, so if it wasn't a fairy, it would at least pierce the wolf's skin. But yes, to your point, using the ash arrow, you had some semblance. So yeah, I do agree with you, and especially in the aftermath of his death, she noticed that he seemed to be looking at her, that he seemed to be surviving longer and whatnot. So like, some part of her left that knowing it wasn't just a wolf, but she, in that chapter, she does leave it like it was just a wolf. Like, she tells herself it was just a wolf. And I think that is in part
convince herself. She
exactly
has to convince herself that it's
and
just
I
a
think
wolf.
that's why she, when she apologizes for what she did, she doesn't convey to them, I thought he was just a wolf. I think because she eventually starts to admit to herself, some part of me knew that that was a fairy. Real quick, I'm gonna fix a light.
We'll cut it. Where are we at? 11 minutes in and already having to cut.
I was so irked by that light being messed up. We're back. So, man.
So in your opinion, she knew, but she just put it aside.
Yes, I think in part she put it aside. It's why she asked the mercenary when she went to trade his pelt. We now know it was his straight up skin. And she's asking all these questions.
Like, she gave away his meat. Like, she sold his everything. She butchered this man. She skinned a fairy alive. I mean, it was a wolf, but she skinned a man alive and sold his insides in order to feed her family. You know?
And it's so interesting watching Tamlin accept that reality too.
Let's talk about that too, man. It's because I don't know how far you are. I don't know if he's mentioned like I don't know if he's talked with
Farrah.
Oh my God, not Farrah, his fucking
Lucian.
one-eyed buddy. Yeah, Lucian. I don't know if he's talked to Lucian about the curse and about everything else about that yet.
He hasn't gotten into so as far as I've gotten, she's heard some side conversations and like been caught eavesdropping. Yeah. So we're at a point that she knows why they wear masks, that there's a blight in their area. I haven't, and one thing I've been curious about, I have not gotten to the motivation of why he decided to keep her around. Like, she knows that he sent Andres out there because there was a chance of finding some means against, the blight. But yeah, there's nothing really that he is revealed. He's still holding some cards. He's still holding some cards right now. But that's why I couldn't stop reading. I was like, I need answers.
Yeah, no, the spoilers. It will all come to fruition. And what my big question is, and I already know the answer to this, but it's something for you to think about, is knowing that was his best friend, because it was that the wolf that went out into the wilderness, that was his best friend, and he chose to keep this girl who murdered her. And as we can tell, he is falling in love with this girl. Why is that happening? Why is he still choosing to fall in love with this girl? And why is he keeping a killer in his home? Why is he keeping a killer of his best friend? Why does that choice matter? And I'm so excited for you to discover the rationality and the reasonings for it.
Yeah, okay.
Have you met Amarantha yet?
No. I only know Alice. Alice is the maid who keeps brushing her hair.
Her maid. Yeah. But you haven't heard any talk about Amarantha yet.
You know what? I don't think I knew her name, but I feel like we've been talking about it. There's a she they keep referring to.
Amarantha.
Yeah, so
Yes.
that's where I think where I left off is right before she's about to find out her name.
Okay.
Because
Wait,
oh, go ahead.
I was keep going. Keep going.
It's just so she has heard Lucian mention a she.
Mm,
She's talked to the Soriel and knows that there's some queen or
mhm.
whatnot, and there was a king in a faraway land, but there's always this she being referred to. So yeah, that we it's been a lot of world building, but
Yeah, she's really good at world building.
I can tell that where I've left off, we're finally about to get into the meat of
Speaking of the
everything.
meat, talk to me about She Took My Wings.
Oh my god. Okay, so that's where like so for y'all, we're gonna try to reconvene every few chapters, but I was so locked that I made a huge jump from the last time I even talked to Jasmine about it.
Yeah, we were
Um
supposed to stop every 10 chapters, but then he says, I got to the Suriel. I was like, chapter 15, how are you doing? But it's tricky because he's doing the graphic audio and they just do part 1, part 2, like it just
yes.
goes.
So She Took My Wings, man, when I tell you
And to hear
pen
the
game.
cries, the graphic audio, just the like
Mm.
acting, the emotion,
Yes,
the
the
visceral
full
just,
acting. I don't even want to call it just voice acting.
it's
It is
acting.
true acting. To we are at this point where she wakes up in the dead of the night. She's now seeing a woman in her dreams. By the way, this unnamed woman that no one's even described to her, but she's seeing her in her dreams now, and she hears the cries of a of someone, and we come to find out another fairy has ventured into the spring court and he's mortally injured. And I think what was important about this moment in the book was the parallel to what she did to Andres.
Yes.
And like Tamlin asked her, why? Why did you hold his hand? This fairy is dying. His rings have been ripped out. The blood is too lost. She can tell it needs a tourniquet, but it's kind of too late to even get one started. And she holds his hand while he dies. And in that moment, she expresses true sorrow and regret for what she did. And the reason is that she says, because if it were me, I wouldn't want to die alone. I would want someone to be there with me till the end and a little bit after. And she really realizes that while she has grown up to hate fairies because of their history, that they have life, loss, love, sorrow, all of it. And I obviously this is going to be that turning point of enemies to lovers, I'm sure.
It's funny. I read that and I agree. Hold on, I have to sneeze.
Bless them nostrils.
Oh, so much to cut from this episode. It's interesting because I watched that moment, and yes, I read it as she's remorseful of her activities and her participation in the death of his friend. But also it's a moment of her really realizing it's either, life, the moment of life and death. And I do think she's very regretful of that situation, but also it's a matter of, I still had to do it. And I stand by my choice because if I didn't kill him, he would have killed me, and or my family would have died. So yes, but it's a lot more than just as simple as life and death and like I need to be there for him. It's, I understand my choices and I understand that I took somebody's life, but there's more to it than that. And even the wolf that she killed in the beginning, she stays with him until his eyes close. But there's more, but it matters more. But it matters more now because she understands the soul and the life behind it. And Rebecca J. Maas,
you just combined
Sarah.
names. You combined all the names.
Yes, Sarah J. Maas has her master's in creative writing. She also has her, I think, a minor in religion. And so the soul and the body and the understanding of life is very important to her. It's not that she's putting a bunch of religious jargon into all of it. I'm sure that there's some undertones here and there, but just the idea of life and the significance of a person's life is really important to her. And that's played here in that scene. It's like a military person going off to war. It's like, yes, they're killing people and you can turn that off, or you can recognize that you are taking a person's life to save another's and just hold that weight.
Yeah, that was really the crux for me of like where I really started to be like, it's funny, she never really explains the situation. Like knowing he was a fairy or not, it was like if she
Doesn't
let him
matter.
kill the deer and eat it, she couldn't feed her family. They would have died.
Right.
If she shot the deer, then he possibly attacks her and she doesn't have an arrow to defend herself.
And her family dies anyway.
And her family dies anyway. It really was unstoppable force meets immovable object moment. And then it's like he jumped on the deer and she literally just had to act. It's like, wait, he jumped on the deer. I have literal seconds to decide whether or not my family is going to eat right now. And obviously
when you're
also
hungry, you just act.
you
Like,
do
if
what you
you're
got to
hungry,
do.
You just do what you got to do.
But her family apparently eating good because Tamlin did explain that apparently he has put a glamour over them. So they think she has left to go be with some aunt. This is where I was like, oh, it's full Beauty and the Beast. But they said, hey, you remember the part where her dad went after her? Yeah, we're going to get rid of all that. He just thinks she gone with some auntie. I said, oh, okay. Jasmine's like, keep reading.
Keep reading.
Let me tell you what, because the graphic audio is in a 5 and 5. So I am halfway through 4. So I believe when I end, I will end at like chapter 20 something.
Yeah.
Will be what it ends.
Audio too.
So
I think you get up to Callan Mai. Have they started talking about Callan Mai is coming?
No.
That's a celebration. So I think you end at Callan Mai and then you meet a few more characters that are significant.
Oh yeah, because there are certain names I know of. I've been curious why I ain't heard Resand yet. Cause I know from the talks, from the TikToks.
I know, but you're not there yet, baby. You still got Tamlin tattooed on your titty. It's okay.
Man, listen.
You got Tamlin man right here on your heart.
No, but the book is really good. I have been super lost.
How do you feel about Tamlin? You haven't really talked to me about Tamlin and Lucian.
So Tamlin is so interesting because he feels very, God, it really did give me like that Beauty and the Beast, but he feels very unsure of himself. Yeah. It is very much I made a decision to keep this girl and like I'm trying to smile and
sorry.
I'm and I really, and you know, I think I like her, but like she just hates me. I think that I would love to see more of this warrior aspect of him. It sounds like he very much wanted to be, he doesn't want to be the head of his court. He doesn't want to be this high fae that he is. And I would love to see what actual relationships with him look like. Like we get a glimpse of like Lucian and him, but Lucian even gives very much, I'm his friend, but like, he don't fucking listen to me. You're talking like
when the mask comes off and when he doesn't have to like support his entire kingdom that's in the
universe.
What is he? Well, how do you think this based off of how, if it's the antithesis of how he is now, how do you see him when the mask comes off, if the mask comes off? Like, do you see them breaking this curse? Do you see him being able to be his true self? Like, what do you think that looks like?
That's a good question. You're a good question answerer. This is why you do interviews. I think with breaking this curse, Tamlin could be I could see him being less serious. I feel like he puts on a front of needing to be just hold the weight of everything. And I feel like he wants to look at the sunset and like go frolic in the fucking woods or something.
Like play his little violin.
Yeah, 100%. That's what I feel. Could be completely off base. He might be like, might be like, no, I want to conquer, but like he's giving very much. I don't want to do nothing but go play a guitar in the woods.
Yeah. And how about Lucian? How do you feel about him and Farah's relationship? Because we've seen a little bit of the banter. You saw him play with Farah when he sent her off to the cereal. Bro. You're not a Lucian fan? You ain't a Lucian girly?
Lucian gives I just saw the clip of Harry Osborn in the first Spider-Man when Peter's like, no, you go talk to her. Yeah. And then he steals what Peter just told him. Lucian gives that. Lucian gives this Mr. Steal Your Girl.
He pretty enough to do it. Lucian's definitely pretty enough to steal your girl.
And I also kind of feel
one eyeball.
Yeah, I feel like this, whether it's meant to or not, I feel the slight undertones of like, yeah, she's trying to use Lucian to figure out if she can find a loophole and all this stuff. But I even feel the hint of like, Tamlin really wants her to pay attention to him. And then she's like showing this interest in Lucian. And he's just like,
So who do you think she ends up with?
I feel like the drama tells me Lucian. I feel like the drama tells me it ends up being both at some point. And she's like, I'm fascinated with Tamlin, but Lucian though,
She's
that
just a
one
little
eyeball,
hoe. She just a little hoe, just bouncing around.
that one eyeball, you know what I'm saying? He let me put my finger in it. Let me stop.
No! She is not my little Farrah. It is interesting. It is, I will say, Farrah's trajectory as far as love goes is interesting, because if it were me, I ain't got time for it. And the thing that bothers me about,
it's so funny.
I don't have time for it. I would be thinking about my family. I would be thinking about trying to escape the fairy realm, because I'm a human and everything here can kill me. Everything here is 10 times stronger than me. And of course you have to have that, like, I'm 95 pounds and I don't want to wear pretty dresses. And I just
That shit was so funny. She said, I am not putting on the dress. Give me the tunic.
She said, give me the tunic. Girl, if you don't put on that shit, I would have put that shit on and packed it away and be like, I'm going to sell this shit. I'm going to sell all this shit. Like, I'm literally thinking about, this man could throw me out at any moment. How do I survive? What is my tactile resources around me? Like, I just... Like,
she ain't thinking no more.
I would be shoveling
she ain't thinking,
food in my
she ain't
mouth.
thinking with her head no more. Also, she keeps getting caught with everything, though. That man said, "Oh, were you gonna do that with that knife you took from the table?" By the way, she's like, "God damn, bro! Like, can't get away
Lower
with nothing."
Lower your fucking defenses, my guy. Lower them. That's the only thing I'm thinking. But truly, like, these girls that are just like, I don't want to eat all this good food. I don't want to be full and like, no, girl, wear the cloak. Get warm, get fed, get energy, get pumped. Like, just be ready. Like, I can't.
She said, you're not thinking right. You're not
thinking. You're not in the game, baby. You're not in the game. And I don't know. Like,
think, Mark.
Think, Mark. Just, I love that guy, Invincible. Yeah. Like, but honestly though, it is the invincible mentality of it. So you're not thinking past this moment. You're being too vulnerable. You're thinking that people are just gonna help you. And I'm not buying it, baby. And I don't know that I would want to be with a man who would allow me to be weak and just think that that's an okay setting, you know? So I don't know. I just would question a person that would allow me to be the weakest version of myself.
I think as much as she's like, I don't want this or that, it's like there's a little bit of the comfort in like, damn, he actually, like, you know, I'm getting fed. Oh man, he protected me from those Naga. By the way, her killing 2 of the Naga by herself, she didn't even know she killed him. He had to let her know she killed him. I said, I think you need to realize that you kind of about it, Farrah. Like, you kind of about it. You kind of about it.
You got strengths, and like, let's celebrate that. Let's own up to our power and our prowess. Let's not be put in the corner. Don't put baby in the corner. I'm so excited for you to keep reading. So what are your hopes as you're continuing this journey of Acotar?
Man, okay. So hopes, definitely learning questions I have is like, what's really going on in the fairy realm? You know what I'm saying? Prithian? Like, Prithian. Thank you. What's really going on in Prithian? The Soriel kind of gave these allusions to things and riddle me this type of answers to a lot of her questions. That like I actually did have to rewind and re-listen to what they said, because I was like, you saying a whole lot, but you're not saying anything right now. Like, when you're talking about all the courts, you're talking about this island realm. There's a king. We've been hearing about a she. There's also the blight. What in the human realm mattered so much that it was potentially the answer to the blight as well. And I think as much as we've kind of breezed past it, I want to go back to the importance of Andres. And I do believe that that's something that we are going to get full circle on, of how we got there and what play he had in there, because I feel like it's way more important than, oh, he was off, scouring for an answer to blight, and he, got hungry and wanted to kill a deer, and that's how he ended up dead.
Yeah.
So yeah, learning Andres's place, even though he is, not with us anymore, RIP. Learning more about what his place is with all of it. Learning how Tamlin got to be the head of his court, essentially. And honestly, whatever tension there is right now, when is it getting broken? Because at this point,
sexual tension or
1000%, because I listened to someone else's summary, and I apparently was missing where Farrah was like having some Farrah, sorry, thank you, was having some butterflies, because they were talking about, I was like, I don't remember her having butterflies there. What are we talking about? And then I started listening to where I'm at, and I was like, oh no, okay, never mind. She's starting to kind of feel him. But then also,
Sarah J. Maas does it in like the subtleties, like palms twitching and my eyebrows.
The ice spider on my neck. She says the ice spider on her neck all the time. So yeah, and also we've kind of fell away from the Lucian part after he had her go deal with the Soriel. So I am curious on.
Tried to kill her. What do you mean?
That's also
he tried
true.
to kill her.
That's right, because she screamed and he didn't come like he said he would. He said, oh man, I wasn't anywhere around.
He said,
which he did want her.
Go this way.
He did want her dead in the first place. He literally was like, "Why didn't you just kill her?" I don't know. Something told me not to. I'm ready for this answer though, because yeah, like you said, I'm like this big bad golden guy, half lion, bear, 3 rows of teeth, and he's like, "You'll pay your debt by living in my court." I was like,
Yeah. Huh. Noted. Noted. Gonna keep that.
And oh, she did figure out that fairies actually can lie. So that was another thing of like, oh shit. So as much as she thinks everything they've been saying is true, what's not true?
Nothing is. The only thing, I think, the silver, maybe.
The mountain ash. They said iron actually doesn't bother them, but mountain ash is the truth.
And that's why it was in the.
I love that pull too. I'm sure that's a common thing in fantasy, but having been someone who was into Teen Wolf, seeing them use the mountain ash as a part of it was really cool. I thought that the iron and silver was a part of that too, but obviously
But I mean, it's the same thing with vampires. Like they're not actually. They can see themselves in mirrors. It's just all things to deter, themselves, so they could blend into humanity a little bit better. But this is exciting. I think this is a very good place for us to pause. I'm really excited for you to keep reading and to continue on your journey. And mind you, this is only book 1. I am so excited.
There's still 4 more, and I'm ready.
There are 7. There are.
Oh, there's.
I think so, because
I thought only 5 were out.
Let me think. How many Acotar books are there? Because I know they're about to release a new one. Oh, there are 5. There are 5 so far, with a 6 in the work.
Let's go. Yeah. I'm pretty locked. I'm pretty locked for it, and I do think I'm gonna end up going through them faster than I did Fourth Wing, just because of 1, I'm doing the graphic audio, and 2, it's just like.
I will tell you though, before you get to book 5, which is A Court of Silver and Mist, I believe, you have to read.
The previous series?
No, you have to read House of Breath and you have to read the House of Blood and Earth. It's the Crescent City books. You have to read the Crescent City books before you read the 5th book. Oh,
so that's why it's 7, because there's a intermission.
It's not an intermission. I can't tell you any more than that.
Okay, fair enough.
I cannot tell you any more than that. You have to read them.
Well, we will reconvene as I get, through this. I'll definitely
No, I think you read all of them. I think you read all of them and then you read Crescent City. I
also have a person I could ask, because she has read all of them.
Okay. I also have read all of them, but I'm now thinking, I was like, no, because she has the thing already in that book. She's got the, so yeah, I think you read all of the books, all of Acotar, and then you go read those books. Yeah.
Oh, there's plenty to do, and hopefully
so
by
much.
the time
welcome to the cinematic universe that is the Maas universe.
Oh my goodness gracious! Yes. But yeah, Acotar, I enjoy it. I enjoy as much as like some people. Again, I saw plenty of people say like kind of slow burn. I have enjoyed like the world building. I definitely could see some of my car rides. I was like, man, let me go back and listen to this again because it was droning for a second describing all this, but it's making sense.
Get very soothing, and it is hard to read later in
I'd be like,
they put their whole vasusi into those.
I'll be like, oh my god, your voice is so soothing enough. I'll be really honest with you. I did wake up one time and the book had moved on to the next book because it had kept playing, and I was like, let me go back.
That's why I gotta read them on Audible. So you got that 30-minute timer or like 5-minute timer, 10-minute timer, because I need to start setting a timer. But yeah, I should be by chapter 20 probably the end of the day today, to be honest. So I'll catch you again on chapter 30, I guess, or when you switch books.
Yeah. But yeah, thanks everybody. Like, this is really welcome exciting. Me to the journey. Booktalk is it's a fun place. I
am so excited for you not only to finish this book, but to start reading the second book. So bad. That's when the flip happens, and there's something that really is universally understood as a what the fuck that happens in that book that I'm so fucking excited for. And there's a certain chapter that I almost want to have you, like, when you get to it, and I wish you were reading the like not graphic audio, but maybe it is better. I'll figure out what the moment is, but I want to record you while you're listening to it.
What I'll do with the second book is I'll like get a certain, like, I'll be like, I'm 30 minutes in, this is what just happened, and then you let me know like how close that is.
I'll tell you exactly. I'll get like what the moment is, like, because I know exactly what it is. It's a bunch of people, they meet for a meeting. There's a bunch of people that come together for a meeting, and you'll know exactly who they are and what that meeting is. And I want to record you listening to that, because there's some shit that's said during that meeting that you're like,
we're gonna do it. Yeah, we're gonna do it for sure. Yeah. For sure. Y'all hold us to it. We'll stamp it in the comments whenever it comes to it.
Alrighty, friends. And let us know in the bottom, if you read Acotar for the first time, what were your thoughts without spoiling, or I don't care. The book's been out forever. Tell me about what your first impressions were. What are you excited for Jordan to get to in the book without spoiling it for him, because he will be reading it. I'm excited to hear all of your thoughts, comments, concerns, questions, and anecdotes. Until next time, friends, whatever the hell this thing is called. Bye. We're talking books. We're talking literature. We're just talking.
Bye.
Bye.